All right, good morning, good morning. Today I was sitting here and I was reading my Bible and I was led to go to Matthew chapter 6. Now this is for you people that probably won't make it to church today because it's raining. The rain stopped so many of us faithful Christians. But so even if you don't make it today, I pray that this word bless you in some kind of way. I got my Bible open in my hand right here. Matthew 6, it was a very good chapter. It dealt with very different dynamics of life. It dealt with how, where we keep our treasures. It dealt with like serving two masters. It dealt with how you give. It dealt with, like, when you talk about giving, it talks about Matthew 6. It talks about how when you give, don't give before men, so men can see you. And it talks about how if you're going to give to somebody, give it to them in private. Like the blessing I received the other day, a lot of my blessings come in private, which I'm so happy about that, and God rewards the people openly for doing what they did for me. He talks about, in Matthew 6, talks about fasting. When you fast, don't fast before men. Don't do it for men, do it for God. Meaning, he said, don't allow yourself to look like you're fasting. Meaning, your face is all crusty and busted. Comb your hair, brush your teeth. If you're fasting, do it unto the Lord. Don't be fasting and you got to let everybody know you're fasting. And you got to use wisdom when you're fasting as well. And it talks about that. And it talks about how, and it compares, it talks about, okay, here's the other points it talks about. It talks about when you're in need. And it talks about the birds. And let me just go to it right quick. Let me go to verse 8, 6 and 8. It said, be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. So he's talking about needs. And he said, before you even come to God about your needs, he said, I already know what you need. I already see where your life is. And someone asked me the question one time on Facebook, do God see me? Yes, God sees you. God see you struggling. He see you going through hardship. He see you going through all different types of headache. God said, I already see you. He said, I already know what you're going through. And you may say, why he ain't coming? He will. You just have to continue to have faith. And this is what God was trying. He's telling the people that in this scriptures, and a couple scriptures down, he's talking about, he goes into the Lord's Prayer. And it goes about how you got to forgive others of their debts. And you have to forgive others of how they owe you. God's saying the way you handle other people is the way other people are going to handle you. So when they talk about the Lord's Prayer, people look at the Lord's Prayer and just say, okay, that's the model prayer. But read the contents of the Lord's Prayer. It's talking about however you deal is how it's going to be dealt unto you. So you have to be careful when you pray in the Lord's Prayer to know that you got to forgive people that owe you. My Lord. Man, that's a hard one for a lot of people. But I had to learn to do it as well. When I owe people and when people owe me. But at the same time, don't just, if your word say you're going to give it back, give it back. Don't try to keep it. Don't say, well, forgive me of my debts, man. And then, you started getting and using, trying to use people. Now, this ain't what God is saying. You cannot use people now. Here's the point. Be honest. Keep integrity. Integrity is important. He's not telling you to go around and be a user. No, he's not saying that. He's saying have integrity. If you know it's something you can't pay back, or you got in a jam and you really want to pay that person back, go ahead and forgive them. And go ahead and forgive them because they can't pay you back. But don't continue to be that way is what he's trying to say. Don't try to be that person that always want to borrow and never pay back. Don't be that person, because when you see them people like that, you know God know how to deal with you too. And you have to be careful of how you deal with people like that. So, okay, now he dealt with that part. Now, he was talking about temptation in that, the model prayer, temptation, forgive men of their trespasses. And God said, I will forgive you of your trespasses. When people do you wrong, forgive them. Okay, then he gets down to verse 18. He said, that thou appear not unto men to fast. And I talked about that. And then he say, it goes on to verse 19. It said, lay not up yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. So it's talking about wherever man's heart is, that's where his treasure lies. It's talking about how it talks about when you're thinking about your car, your home, whatever you have, whatever value, your value, whatever you value the most, that's where your heart gonna lies. And God said, don't put nothing before him. He will have no other God before him. So don't make whatever you possess become your God. Whether it's money, people, man, it don't matter what it is. Don't make it your God. He said, because that's earthly treasure. And he said, and it goes on talking about having your treasures in heaven, where the thieves of moths and dust and rust won't be able to get to it. All right. Then it goes down to talking about verse 23. He said, but if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be filled of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? He said, then it goes on talking about, when he's talking about the darkness, it's talking about how we are, how evil we can be. It talks about the darkness inside of you. And you have to be careful of that darkness. He said, and then the verse before that, it talks about the light. That that when I'm going to read it. Verse 22 says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thy eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And now this is going up into 22, 23, goes up into 24. When it talks about no man can serve two masters. You can't, so it's leading you somewhere that you cannot have two masters. So meaning, if you try to serve God and money, you're going to fail. When you try to serve God and man is more higher than God, you're going to fail. God is first. God is saying, here God is saying in chapter 6, he's talking about your focus. Whatever you think on the longest, become the strongest. So I'm saying in short that this is just, in case you don't make it to church, here's a word for you. Change your focus. Basically, chapter 6 dealing with your focus. God is saying, if you keep your focus on me, I will take care of anything that you need. And it talks about, God goes on to explain that don't worry about where you're going to eat and drink, all that kind of stuff. He said, don't worry about it. Don't let that be your focus. Don't wake up every morning. I gotta get this money. I gotta get this money, pay these bills. I gotta get this hustle. God said, get up. Work is good. Work is good. Don't not work, but don't worry. Don't put so much stress on it where it's your whole focus. And you forget about God, that he can provide for you. You forget about God can send someone to bless you. You forget about God that he's able to pay your house off without you even knowing. Man, I'm talking about these are the kind of things I'm looking for. God, I'm looking for God to pay my house off in full, whether it be by check, cash, or donation, whatever. I'm believing God for those things. And be able to live a life with a wonderful wife. And I had to change my focus in that area. Don't focus so much on having a wife. So I focus on having God as my focus. And the wife will come. The husband will come. Let God be your focus. It's okay to date. It's not, what I'm not saying is like not dating. I'm not telling you not to. Because sometimes you may need to. But what I'm saying is, don't let whatever it is consume you. This whole chapter is talking about don't be consumed with life, the cares of life. That's all he's saying. And go down, this is my last point, and I'm stopping because this is just for those who don't go to, may not make it to church today, or who have not been to church today. And I pray that this bless you, because your focus needs to get back on God. Don't worry about what you don't have. Don't worry about that. It will come. Work and it will come. Work, a simple job can fix not having money. But then sometimes we have jobs and still don't have money. I understand that. I understand that. So money may not be somebody's issue today. Work may not be somebody's issue, but it may be love. You may need love. Who knows? Whatever your greatest focus is, change it and put God in that place. Whatever, I say this again, whatever you think on the longest, become the strongest. Now here's my final point. Verse 33. This is what I went through all of that to get you to this. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Things. Wife, husband, cars, clothes, no matter what it is. A better job, a promotion, no matter what it is, it shall be added unto you. This is my focus. The kingdom, y'all. Keep your eyes on the kingdom. Keep your focus on the kingdom. Man, I don't care, man. Man, God knows I desire to be married. I desire to be prosperous. I desire to bless people. I have a lot of desires. I desire a new vehicle. I desire, more clothes, I guess. I guess I want new suits and stuff like that. That's just my desires. But then I changed that. I said, God, if it be thy will, it'll come to pass. And it happens. The more I focus on the kingdom, meaning giving to people, the more I focus on doing right, the more I focus on forgiving, the more I focus on letting things go. Come on, y'all. Let things go. The more I do those things, and even with the little I have, I share. And never be stingy. Man, don't be stingy. You stingy, you ain't gonna get nothing. I'm telling you, man. Selfish, you ain't gonna get nothing. So I'm telling you now, you're selfish, hard-hearted, stubborn, bitter, broken, and don't want to be healed, want people to play into your game and all your hurts. Man, trust me, you'll be by yourself. You'll be by yourself. Man, I'm telling you, man, living alone, nobody want to be around you. Nobody don't like you. You won't smile. Can't nobody tell you a joke to make you laugh. Man, okay, you got your focus wrong. You better tighten up. I'm just saying, tighten up, man. Tighten up. This is the longest video I ever done. But I'm telling you, but I felt the need to take my time today and really put it out there. Man, life is short. Live your life, man. For anyone that lost a loved one this year already, God bless you. My hands and my prayers are up to you. Just know, man, I'm praying for broken relationships. I'm praying for relationships that can't see the light of day right now. I'm praying for you. Man, my God, don't be consumed with those things. It's a relationship. It's part of you. It's not all of you. Take your focus off of your relationship. I had to live through bad relationships plenty of time. And I didn't make it all of me. I didn't let it consume